Goblet squat. So what you're gonna need for this exercise is a dumbbell, okay, or a kettlebell. So what you're gonna do, obviously pick up the weight, you're gonna hold it goblet style. So here with the kettlebell, you can hold on to the handles, you can flip it upside down and hold on to it. But essentially we're trying to hold it in the shape of a goblet right against our chest. So from there, we wanna just get into a basic squat position. So how do we do that? Feet just a little bit wider than your hips. So if you look down, look at your hips, just a little bit wider than your hips. Point your toes out slightly, and then from there, imagine there's a string hanging from the top of the ceiling. It's attached to the top of your head. So what we're gonna do is, as we sit, okay, our hips back and bend our knees, you're gonna keep your head up as if that string is attached. Boom, you just wanna get right down to parallel and then come back up. Now it's important that we keep our foot completely flat on the ground. So if, when you squat down, you're finding that once you get to pretty much parallel, so when I say parallel, that means your knees and your hips, okay? That line from your knee to your hip is parallel with the floor. Once you get here, you start to see that your your heels start to come off the ground. What you can do, because a lot of that is related to, a lack of ankle mobility, a lack of hip mobility. What you can do is grab some sort of board. So I have just a 1-inch board here. And I'm gonna put just my heels up on the board, get into the exact same position. Okay, so feet a little bit wider than your hips, point your toes out, dumbbell up against the chest, head up, attach to the string, and then straight down, and then back up. Now, another issue or mistake that people do is when they go down, they do not push their knees out to the side, okay? Because to allow our hips, okay, to sink down, you have to give it room, and the only way to really do that is by allowing your knees to come apart. Now, if you really struggle with that, what you can do, you can, if you don't have a little loopy band like this, you can just kind of imagine it. So what you're going to do, if you do have a band, you can step into it here. Now, you can put it above the knee or below the knee. I'm gonna put it below the knee. So you just get into the exact same position. I'll just demonstrate on the board as well. So when you go down for your squat, you're gonna actually push your knees apart there against the band. And then you're trying to resist it. Okay, as you come up, resist it and then come together. So that's your goblet squat. If you are struggling to keep your heels on the floor, maybe you need to work on some more ankle mobility. And then if you find your knees are caving in, then you could add a resistance band to that to improve your overall technique.